Hi there. In this video we're going to talk about a taboo subject, which is nightmare clients and how to spot them before they become a client. Because one of the worst things you can do is take a client on that feels bad before that you actually start working with them and then try and hope things will become good over the course of time. Very, very rarely does that happen. If a client looks like a nightmare, they probably are a nightmare. And I'm going to give you the clues, give you the red flags, the signs that you can look for that will spot it up front, and you can make a smart choice to run for the hills and go find a better client. Because a bad client will be bad for your business, they'll be bad for your staff, they'll be bad for morale, and there's every chance they will not be profitable either. So let's have a look. I want to hit fast on 3 questions that you will often see up front from a client. If these 3 questions are the first 3 things a prospect says to you, leave the room. First question, how much is it? Second question, how fast can you do it? Third question, and if it doesn't work, do I get my money back? If they are the first 3 things that a client or a potential client asks you, you're in bad territory. They're seeing you as a commodity. They're not seeing you as a valuable partner or a service provider. They're disinterested. But they're not the only personality traits that show up. Think about this. Is their behavior towards you aggressive? Is their tone aggressive? You know, we've all had those conversations where it feels like a fight just when you're at the sales stage. If you're selling and somebody feels like they're fighting already, imagine when they're challenging and asking questions about results. The level of aggression after money has changed hands will only increase. Think about the other ways that their personality and their behavior shows up. Do they try calling you out of hours? Do they respect boundaries? You know, they're emailing, calling, evenings, weekends. That's a really bad sign. You know, remember, this is a potential client. It's not your parents. You're not obliged to take a call from them at 8 o'clock in the night just because they've got something on their mind. If that's the way they're behaving during the sales process, it's a bad sign. Think about the way they make time for you. Do they constantly cancel calls? Do they reschedule? Do they not show up? Are they courteous and professional and respectful? You know, your time is valuable. If somebody keeps cancelling or won't show for you, they're not going to show you for you when they're a client. If you need to help them grow their business, you can't do that and give good feedback and work well with somebody who isn't there. On a similar vein, are they distracted when they're speaking to you? You know, I've personally had calls where you can hear somebody on the other end having a conversation with somebody else in the room, or you can hear them typing and doing other things. If they're not paying attention, you can't work together. They don't respect and value your time. Really important those personality traits are spotted up front. But moving past personality, you've then got the business to think about. And the first thing is, if you're selling PPC, is this business owner, does he have a business that people are actually searching for the thing that they sell? Because if they're not, and you're going to run something like Google search, it's really hard to run a successful search campaign for something nobody searches for. For example, if they're an underwater unicycle instructor, I suspect the demand for that is very, very low. You may have the best campaign and the best skills in the world, but you can't sell that very well on PPC. Think about their approach to marketing. Look at their website as a great clue. If their website is all very boring, dull copy, there's no hint of an offer, and they're in a marketplace where offers are the norm, if they're not interested in marketing, they're not interested in making an offer, they expect people to come to them because of who they are, they're going to really struggle with paid search. PPC campaigns are all about catching initial attention from your ideal prospect, and to do that you need a strong marketing message, often with an offer of some sort. If they're not willing to discuss an offer, and even more so, discuss presenting it really well on a landing page dedicated specifically for the purpose of converting paid traffic, they're going to fail before they even start. Big red flag. If they aren't making an offer, won't make an offer, and won't use a landing page to present it properly, it's going to be a really difficult campaign. Because when the traffic comes and the conversions don't, you'll be on the hook and be blamed for that. Big red flag. Move further into their business. Think about your interactions when you're calling them. Do you get somebody pleasant on the phone? If you're going to send prospects to that business and they're going to be on the phone, it's really important whoever answers that phone does a great job. Can they sell? Do they answer it? Are they polite? Are they helpful? Are they there at all hours when you're going to run a campaign? Really important, again, otherwise you won't convert, the client will blame you. They won't look internally at their business and hold their hands up and say, we didn't do a good enough job with those phone calls. Do they rely on referrals? Because if their business currently relies on referrals, they find it often very, very difficult to sell cold prospects. They're not used to it. It's a different skill set, converting a cold lead from a referral. And business owners that rely on referrals often struggle. They can be very, very difficult clients because no lead is ever good enough. And the words you'll hear is, these leads are low quality. These are bad leads. They're not. They're just not used to them. You might often find that that same sort of business owner who want to start with a $250 budget, but the magic words, I'll spend more when it's successful. And the reality is they're not even spending enough to find out if it can be successful. And if you can't find out if it's successful, the only conclusion is that it isn't. It's a failure and you'll be on the hook. So if they're not prepared to commit and invest at an appropriate level, big red flag. My very last point, and it's a really important one. Find out what other marketing they are doing. If the answer is none, find out just how important to this that the PPC succeeding is. I've personally seen situations where business owners have literally bet the life of their business on gambling their last $1,000 on a credit card in the hope that PPC can save their business. Don't get caught in a situation where a business owner needs you to turn their business around and they've got days or weeks to do it. Look out for, are they doing anything else? How quickly does it need to succeed? And how critical is it to them? If you get a bad vibe from that and you sense that business is in trouble, run, because otherwise you'll be held responsible if ultimately their business fails and it's really difficult to turn it around quickly enough to keep them going. That's it. We all want to win new clients. I hope you win many, many good ones, but make sure that along the way you avoid the bad ones. And there's some tips to help you do exactly that. Bye for now.